Is there any other car? You know what? Oh, this is a fun. Maybe we should do a podcast at some point because these are fun things to talk about. But there are more important things going on. Kirania, he has decided to go. You know what? Maybe my internet will be good if I just turn off my webcam. And as we can see, at least he's spinning his mouse around, which kind of tells me that we are live now. Seems like it, aren't we? Yes.
Does look like it. He's doing a lot of pans.
Exactly, we are playing.
He turned around 3 or 4 times. Was really looking for that landscape in his home country, of course. Australia.
We are getting the guesses in. We are playing, and now, well, here we go, live and in action. First hit is gonna come from Arno. He got 2 practice rounds, of course. We got to keep that in mind. Arno, that is, and he took those into full use and put them into full use, and now he's up ahead, coming into round 2.
Yeah, and we just talked about car matters here. We have Kirania staring at that antenna for a good 3 or 4 seconds before he starts moving. Very good clue to rule out some regions in Russia.
He's not moved yet at all.
Nope. He probably just accepted the fact that he won't find anything nearby. So he tries to get a good look on the landscape and make a guess based on that.
Arno going with the Toby strategy, just go a bit east of Moscow, hope for the best. Obviously, his reason to be there is very different than mine, and he gets 1,300 damage done towards Kirania, so it makes perfect sense for him to be there too.
Definitely. Yeah, just turns out to be right in between them, and we just
wait a minute.
And I think you want to talk about this one.
Wait a minute! I know where we are, at least the country. I know that we're in Denmark. Haha! It's so funny. I literally become a child on Christmas. Somehow, something within me, every single round goes, please, let's be in Denmark. We are on the western island. Nope, that's wrong, Arno. Go west. It's on Jutland. You can see Holstebro. It's a big city in Jutland. That is, oh no, Kirania, my mans. Oh. Don't do this to me. I'm giving you everything. Arno is going up towards where I was born. But that's also incorrect. So we have Kirania in the wrong country, Arno in the wrong island. There we go. There we go. Holstebro, he's found it. He's there. He's found it. Arno knows. He's gonna 5k this for me.
I don't know if Kirania might still have issues with panels loading it.
There you go.
I would assume because
5k, Arno. That's what you get. I told you I was on the underdog train, and he deserves it, guys. Can we get a round of applause in the chat for the Denmark 5k by Arno? Arno, I will give you a Japan 5k in return, my man. I appreciate it.
5ks in Denmark are extra special. They deserve some extra applause from Toby. But we move on. Especially Kirania needs to lock in now. But he is having quite a rough game.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe we don't see him moving too much around. Maybe it's because the internet just can't really handle loading new frames. I'm not sure what's happening, but as swift as can be, flawless moving around for Arno. You can see he doesn't look too satisfied, but maybe he also realizes that maybe the competition isn't being completely straight on right now. Kirania, though, we have to get these games going, obviously, and he's just going to have to try and see what he can make happen with it.
Yeah, it never feels good to, win if you know your opponent has against maybe slow engine.
Wait, what are we seeing here? What is this we're seeing in the distance?
That might be a police car.
Oh!
We see it right there.
Any meta info you want to share with the chat?
Yeah, I like the Benin city guess, but besides that...
That's the follow car, by the way, chat, we were talking about just before. The police in Nigeria.
Also, there are different police follow cars. So you can also make a region guess based on that. Different colors, the ordering of the lamps. Like some of them have the red sirens on the left side and the blue on the right side, whereas other police cars have it the other way around. That's also something we use to make a region guess. There's all kinds of stupid stuff.
Desert we go. Now, if you are just out in the middle of nowhere in the desert, how do you know it? What's the meta knowledge to know whether you're in UAE or in Oman with the new Oman coverage that's been added? What's the biggest tell?
In this case, we have the Gen 3 camera quality, and that doesn't happen in Oman. Oman coverage came out way later, therefore you know it has the better camera quality. That's one thing for sure. And if it's both in Gen 4, then it's a kind of a different car in Oman, but if it's an NPC, then it's getting tricky.
Then it gets very difficult, yeah.
But if you see the car, it makes it easier for sure to tell between those two.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, the tides have turned at least a bit, as Kirania now is the one playing a flawless game here. Only 3 rounds in, but still able to stay at 6k as we now go into what at least the players believe is Thailand. Are you in agreement with this?
I do agree with that. We have those banana plants along the road, kind of a dry, flat landscape. Very hard to region guess, as we just saw them both going a bit more east, but it is in Pishit, I think. Could be the Pishit
border. Another round for Kirania. Now 1,000 points ahead. Obviously, it ain't much with the multiplier stacking up. It can only get more and more dangerous from here as we go into a rare snowy location.
Yes, and it's kind of hard to tell whether it is Finland or Sweden. I want to say it looks more like Finland.
Do they have the same antennas in or like poles, electricity poles in Sweden and Finland?
Some are unique and some are generic. These ones we are looking at are generic, I think. They also have like quite a few, so I don't know all of them. Because you sometimes have like random poles just for one span of a random road.
That a
you
farmer
don't really
put
learn
up
that.
to
Yeah,
get better internet
pretty
connection.
much. Pretty much. But
oh wow,
with the long antenna, I think that's more common.
Micro damage coming in once again. I mean, Kirania been hit twice, but only taking a total of 20 damage in doing so. It's a close game, as close as can be, as we now get into round number 5.
Yes, indeed. We have a couple city names there. I don't know if Kirania knows them. We are in Australia. Herberton in 32 kilometers. He did lock it in pretty quick. I don't know if he did bother to 5k that one. Anu is in Victoria.
Oh no, his hand there. He's a bit frustrated.
Oh yeah, okay, he changed.
A last second change up to go further north, and you can see in his face like,
important
that was
switch
scary.
there. You could tell he wasn't sure, and that's also something you sometimes ignore if you have those city names. You just look at them and don't really look around. But he did take those extra 2 or 3 seconds to really look around and got that vibe for it being
honestly, that was,
northern in the country.
Yes, it takes 5. It's not France. Yes, it takes 500 damage, but I mean, for Anu, in this case, that was probably the best thing he could have hoped for. You saw him with this flick of his hand that he had no clue, but he was very unsure. And then the last second flick up there to the north, it looked like he was frustrated on camera, but I think that was all like a big sigh of relief for not taking more damage in that round.
Definitely, especially if you play against someone from Australia. That's some extra pressure you have playing against them in their home country. But in this case, I don't know what that flag is doing there. We just ignore it.
Looking at the flag.
We just ignore it. The pavement looks very much like Illinois, Iowa.
I'm gonna say Kansas because I know they have a lot of corn.
Yeah. Let's see.
That's all I can base it on.
I would say Kansas has a bit more hills than this.
Maybe you're right.
Flat, and it is Iowa. Indeed.
It was in fact towards the west, and this was a round. Yeah, I'm not sure. Kirania didn't put a guess in. It didn't look like he was moving at all. But again, as we knew, he had internet issues, and I think this might just be us giving this one away to Anu. That's, of course, the issue when we have set times for these matches to take place. But I guess that's also the good thing in the fact that we do have 21 weeks of GeoGuessr. So yes, you lose a match here and you can blame it on your internet provider, but or at least partially on your internet provider, because Arno did in fact 5k Denmark, so maybe he deserved to win more. But nonetheless, for Kirania, I think this is an unfortunate internet blaming O2 that we'll have to move on from.
Yeah, we don't judge Kirania here at all for his performance. It was obviously a bit of tech issues, kind of frustrating.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
For the players, for us as